All right, good morning, everybody. It is week 8 IDP Fantasy Football Start Sits with your man Jordan Rains, the IDP Army. If you are watching on the channel, we appreciate that. If you're watching on one of the Twitter streams, we appreciate that. If you're listening on one of the Twitter Spaces, we appreciate that. I don't usually bang the intro out, but for whatever reason today, I feel like doing it. So I'll be back in just a sec. Yeah, I don't know where everybody else is. For everyone who's tuned in on the channel, I sent a message to the guys this morning. I didn't hear anything back. I'm sure somebody will slide through the comments over here. But let's get straight to it. Good morning, good morning, good morning. A few people already dropped some questions in here about 20, 30 minutes ago, it looks like, but let's get to it. First and foremost, what's going on with this game? Why can you only watch it on ESPN Plus? I don't understand that. It's weirding me out. But we got John Palenciano says, lack of options for a flex starter. So do I spot start Daryl Henderson, Braxton Berrios, or Sammy Watkins? Give me Braxton Berrios, man. I don't know what it is about that guy, but he just like every year he has 4, 5, 6 games, it seems like, where he just has these massive games. And his name comes up. I'm honestly really annoyed I don't have him in more best ball just because I knew I should have drafted him. So if I'm going to pick a flex spot with some upside, I would be looking at Mr. Berrios. Maybe. I don't know how you feel about that, though. It's not a name that you would necessarily love, but to me, of those guys, Henderson, Sammy Watkins, and Berrios, it's easily him. Zion Bird says, boys, good morning. I need help. DB's already started. Geno Stone, need 3 more. Got Julian Love, Xavier McKinney, Jesse Bates, Curse, Woolen, McCreary, Gardner Johnson, and I haven't hit much on my DBs. You know, what's funny is I actually had a nightmare last night because I don't know if you guys saw this. I put a tweet. Bomber said something, put something out on his about start sits. I asked him, should I start Xavier McKinney, or I forgot who the other guy was. Anyway, I literally had a dream last night. This is how much I'm in fantasy football. I had a dream last night that Xavier McKinney had the best game of the season today. He had a sack and interception. Like, I dreamt that. So that's how much I care about fantasy football. So I'm going to go ahead and say maybe that was prophetic. So I'm going to go McKinney, Julian Love. And then with these other guys, I'm going to go Curse. Kind of a weird start to the season, but I'm still in on Curse. All right, Zion coming through again. He says, on my defensive line, I have Pay, Josh Sweat, Big Q, Hutchinson, Nwosa. Should I start Nwosa at LV if Luvu doesn't play? I think that's a good pivot if Luvu doesn't play. I wouldn't expect great and wonderful things, but I think that's a reasonable pivot. Could be a lot worse. Let's keep rocking and rolling. Hey, go harass the guys on the Twitter timeline and in the chats. If you're in the chat, say, what are you guys doing? Say, why do you leave Jordan out here all alone? So what's up? What's good, IVP Army? Rugaroo, good morning. Bonjour, les gents. Bonjour, les gents. Is that how les gents? I don't know. Let's get it today. Amen, brother. Let's get it. Let's get these wins. Let's pick up that. Hopefully you're rolling. Hopefully you're rolling straight to the playoffs. If you guys want to check out some IDP Army gear, we do have some merch available. We're going to be doing some more giveaways in the near future. I say that, again, holler at the other fellas. Tell them to hit me back because that's one of my areas I struggle in is organization. I'm working on it, though. Trying to put us in position to succeed. All right, should I drop Diablo or Deshaun Elliott for Milano or Anzalone? Saw Deshaun Elliott is not playing this morning. Also saw couple other random guys were not playing. AJ Terrell was one of them. But would I drop Diablo or Deshaun for Milano or Anzalone? That's a tough question. Diablo has been really good, so I wouldn't want to drop him, and Elliott too. Milano and Anzalone should probably not be on your waiver wires, though. So is there anybody else, Philip V, you got on your team you can maybe finesse around? because that's my first instinct there is definitely consider looking into other players you could drop, because those guys have been so good this year. Sorry, guys, I'm double checking a couple things. Well, looky there. There's my ugly mug just streaming on Twitter. Dear God. Alexander 302, Stevenson or Ayuk in the flex, full point PPR, super flex. Already have Jacobs, Taylor, Walker starting. Sounds like you've already got a whole slew of running backs going, my guy. Just put in Ayuk. We got Debo out. He's had 11 targets each of the last 2 games. I think he had 9 the game before that. I mean, that's you can't get a better scenario than that. Like, they literally don't make them better than that. I know Stevenson had a nice game this last week. I'm still like, this is part of my religion, is I don't fuck with Patriots running backs or offensive players in general. There's my one F word of the day. Something I've been toying with, guys and gals. I'm gonna get a swear jar. Put it back here. I'm gonna get one swear jar an episode, one swear word an episode, myself and any guest. And then after that, you gotta pay to play. How does that sound? That sounds pretty fun, right? And then maybe, I don't know, every quarter we can donate whatever's in the swear jar to a charity. I think that'd be cool. And it would allow me to swear with a little bit of altruistic backing. Be like, but I'm doing it for the children. I'm a psychopath. All right. Good morning, JP. Byard or Brisker rest of season. I'm taking a peek here at my rankings. I mean, it's Brisker. I love Byard, but Brisker's just been a dog this year. Like, he's a dog. I don't know how else to say it. I mean, he's a dog. Kevin Byard, he's a beast too in his own right. A little different, but give me Brisker. Give me the Brisker. It's funny how isn't it funny? Isn't it a little funny to anybody else that Mitchell Trubisky, the biscuit. Now we got Brisker. And I call Jacoby Brissett. You know, I call him the brisket too. So there's a lot of Briskers running around here and briskets. Biscuit men. All right. Best feeling. Made some trades and landed Pitts QB and Saints QB. The guy I traded away got dropped. Woo. Yeah. I mean, that's a good feeling for you. Do you feel bad about that though? Infinite possibilities. Yo, we have been waiting for you. This is where we get the good shit, win fantasy championships, like and share the page. I'll drink to that. And today the coffee's hot still. It's not cold. It's not lukewarm. It is well on its way though. Like, it's like we need to be drinking more coffee, drinky, less talky. Appreciate that, infinite possibilities. You the man. FYI, my grandma beat me last week. Great show. Keep doing what she's do. Good. You probably deserved it, Chris. D. Brown, Thomas, Collins, or Poyer. Pick one, please. Full PPR, thanks. The PPR bit isn't really going to affect the defensive players in this conversation, really. I'm looking at my rankings right now with my eyes, and Jalen Thompson is ahead of Jordan Poyer. That's not how I actually feel right now, so I'm going to move him down. I would play Poyer ahead of him. Or I would play, ahead of both those guys. Shout out to Rougarou IDP for the swear jar. Yes, sir. Was that your idea? Was this like, am I trying to appropriate your cultural vision for our show? I'm sorry. This is gross, infinite possibilities, but I picked up some Rams defensive players. I now have linebacker Leonard Floyd and CB David Long Jr., but I feel gross. What should I do with them? They make you feel that bad, drop them. I mean, but for real, that's not the worst thing ever. I still think that Jalen Ramsey's probably the defensive back that you want if you're in a cornerback on that team. Leonard Floyd's due for a game. So, I mean, but the problem is, are you going to play him to have that game? I don't know. I don't hate it, though. I mean, they could pop late. I'm interested to see how I think we're getting that point in the year where the league can shift, where like teams that were bad can figure it out and teams that were looking good can fall off. So I'm not trying to hold too tightly or loosely to anything right now. But this week, again, is going to solidify some things, and I'd be curious to see how Floyd pulls through this week. D. Brown says, I'm afraid to play Cooks with all the trade talk. Who should I play? My guy Cooks, Dubs, or Mooney? Yup, a Dookie sandwich. Yeah, that sounds pretty terrible. I would probably, honestly, without knowing who you're like playing and everything, I would maybe take a shot on Dubs here just because they're playing the Bills. Like they have no choice but to throw the ball. So maybe that means they go down early, and that means we get a lot of, premium downfield targets from Aaron Rodgers. Maybe he's, kind of haphazard. I don't know. All you really need is one big play from a guy like that. And I feel like that game environment is going to be conductive for that kind of thing to happen. So as weird as it is, I would probably go Dubs, even though I can say with 100% Scouts honesty, I don't have any of those three players on any of my teams that aren't best ball. I think I might have Cooks on like one. So I'm sorry. I don't have an intimate knowledge of how this feels, but as an outsider looking in, I'm going Dubs. Chris, what do you think about Martin Emerson of the Browns to start versus the Bengals? I have Jackson of the Bears on the bench. I'm going to be completely honest with you. I don't have any takes on either of these guys right now. I don't even know if Martin's in my rankings right now. If I'm going to be completely honest, I know we have some guys filling in. If you need to stream, I might feel comfortable playing him. But honestly, Joe Burrow has not been the first week kind of set us up for failure with Joe Burrow because it looked like he's just going to get sacked all the time and he's just going to be a mess. That hasn't been the case since week one. So while that may look like an enticing matchup, I don't think it maybe is. On the flip side of that is Joe Mixon is still booty. So there should be plenty of tackle for loss opportunities. So, maybe that's something you can get into. Show some love, y'all. Like, thumbs up, subscribe, all that good stuff. See if we can get some more folks up in here. Like I said, I am on Twitter doing a live or what are these things called? A space. You want some alpha? You want some alpha? Because I'm always poking around content platforms and shit. They're not actually called spaces anymore. Well, they are, but there's a transition happening that they're not. It's not public facing, but Twitter is becoming a podcast platform. So that's why I'm running this on there. Because I was fiddling around with it the other day, and I was on there. I clicked it, and there's this weird thing, and this is a side mission. I'm sorry, you guys know what I do. And then you click on, there's a little thing that pops up, and it used to be kind of like where the fleets were, but now it's like these tiles, and on the tiles it has shows. And the shows, the podcasts, as they're called there, again, they're bringing us around to this. They're just recorded spaces that are like hosted on their platform. Now, I will say that I did say some of the tiles had the actual podcast like cover art and stuff, even though it was hosted through a different account. So I'm wondering if maybe some people have access to some stuff on the back end that allows them to do that. Either way, we're in that shit now. So that's why we're here. All right. Luvu has been slowed. I put in Zayvon Collins. Is this the move or not? I think it's the move this week. Collins has been trending up and consistent. And we know that Luvu, the injury thing kind of And I saw somebody tweeted something, said basically his situation is going to look a lot like last week. So it's probably not an ideal situation. Phil V, I have Fred Warner, Pete Werner, Deion Jones, Hafanga, Winfield, Deshaun Elliott, and Diablo. Bro, you're fucking stacked. What's the question? If Diablo don't play, who do I drop for Anzalone or Milano? Nobody. I like all those guys more than Milano and Anzalone. All of them. So, except Deion Jones. Maybe drop Deion Jones, but you probably don't want to do that. It's going to feel because you probably went out of your way to like finesse him onto your team. All right, it's Dynasty. Yeah, I mean, in Dynasty, I would try to attack Milano then just because of the name value. But I would not get rid of Pete Werner. I would not get rid of Hafanga. I wouldn't get rid of any of those guys except for maybe Deion Jones. And I wouldn't swap him out for Anzalone. I'd swap him out for Milano in Dynasty. Brian Williams says, what's up, Jordan? Good morning. Good morning. Need one for my flex. Luvu, Shaq Leonard, or Logan Wilson. Thanks. Logan Wilson's weirding me out right now because the report that I saw when he got hurt was he's going to be out 2 to 5 weeks. Now, if I'm not mistaken, He's only been out like a week, right? So I'm like worried. Now we did nickname him the Wolverine for a short period of time last year. So maybe this is it, you know. I am scared to play Shaq. I'm honestly scared to play all these guys, but I would probably go Wilson. Lazard is out from what I saw last night. Man, fire up Dubs. Oh yeah, I'm Aaron Rodgers. This is a good chance for us to go in there and, you know, prove something. What? You can get your ass beat on television? That you can take an ass whooping for an hour? I mean, my guy, there isn't a single simulation in all the simulations, even the ones where Case Keenum comes in, where Aaron Rodgers wins this game. Sorry, bro. It's over. They gave you your participation MVP trophy last year. It's over. They milked every last bit of equity they could out of you, brand equity. Now you can go be like an ayahuasca shaman somewhere. Dubs or Schultz? Give me Dubs. Damn, bro. Damn, I don't have any of those guys on my team. Dude said I don't have any of those guys on my team. What are you talking about? Am I missing something here? I need Billy to help translate sometimes, y'all. This is why it takes a village. D Brown, can you clarify for me there what I fuck up? I'm sorry. Rugaroo says, how does the chat view a player like DK who was clearly hurt last week? Now he's gonna play. I'm putting him on my bench. Do you play him with lowered expectations, or do you get some Claypool action in? Whew, that's scary business right there. I picked up Marlon Mack and Derek Young in my 16-team 53-man roster, hoping to catch lightning in a bottle. Am I clogging my roster unsuccessfully? Potentially, but you never know. I mean, this is the time of the year when guys like Marlon Mack can suddenly just pop up. You know, what if he has, you know, I mean, things happen. You'll never know unless you have them on your team to play them if they do go off. So ride it out, I guess. Stream Whitehead for the Jets, safety that plays in the box, and they play the Patriots today. I think that's a pretty good move. He hasn't been like prolific this year, but he's been reliable as far as getting his snaps and all that. Thanks. No problem, Phil. Y'all, do me a big favor. If you are watching this on the YouTube channel, go subscribe to our new podcast feed, our second podcast feed. Same shows that have been going on the podcast feed. Some of the stuff we do clips on the channel that's not just IDP, but we have 4 podcasts now. So we put 2 of them on the new feed, old feed, and then we have the 2 OP pods. So we have Offensive Points and the IDP Army podcast on one feed. Then we have Dynasty Tailgate, and the Best Ball Show is on the other feed. That's down in the description. It would mean the world to me if you guys would go subscribe to it, leave us a 5-star rating and review. Those of you that are in the chat right now, that would seriously be amazing. Infinite Possibility says, I have D.E. Chandler Jones, Travis Gibson, and Alex Wright on my 16-team, 53-man roster Dynasty League. Who is a deep, deep defensive sleeper that you are eyeballing or stashing? I mean, you already have the guy that I've been stashing. That's Travis Gibson. I picked him up a few weeks ago, quite a few spots. And because he flashed was a week 2 or 3 on just a handful of snaps. And now that Robert Quinn's gone, basically it opens it up for him to get the Robert Quinn snaps, the Khalil Mack snaps, whatever you want to call them. So Travis Gibson would be that player for me. I'm off the top of my head, I'm trying to think if there's anybody else that I could maybe slide into that conversation for you. You know what? I'm going to do y'all solid. Look, I'm going to pull up the ultimate IDP index, and we'll just head to like the bottom of the DL rankings, and let's see if we can find us anybody that we like as a sleeper. Real quick here for our main Infinite Possibilities while y'all keep bringing in those questions. All right, index. And this will let some of y'all in here just get a view of the index. I don't show it off a lot. We're going to be redoing some of the stuff we do with the Patreon, etc. So hopefully we can get some more people in here, more eyeballs on it. All right. Let's see if we can pull it up. All right. Can y'all see that? Let's pull this down. What I'm going to do is I'm actually going to pull this off into its own thing. Okay. So you wanted to know some DLs maybe we could stash. So Let's sort by the All right, position, descending. Oh my gosh. No. What have you done? That was the wrong thing to do. Okay. Filter. There we go. Oh my gosh, why am I not figuring this out? This usually works differently. Why is it doing this? There it is. Okay. There we go. Okay, so let's scroll down to the bottom of the DL here. Dante Fowler. Okay, here's a guy. He's been popping up a little bit more. I think he has 4 or 5 sacks on the season now. Was playing for the Falcons, now on the Cowboys. Snaps have been pretty low, as you can see here, through 55, less than 55. But again, I think he has 4 sacks on the total season. There might be a guy who finishes the top defensive line player last year, 2-3 years ago. Has been kind of moving around. There's some upside for you. So I might look at a Dante Fowler type. Other guys down in these lower areas of the index right now. JPP gave me that big old 0 last week. That was not fun. So there you go. There's your 2 guys, Travis Gibson and where's my blue background at? There we go. Travis Gibson and Dante Fowler. How's that for a couple of players for you? Infinite. Some bench stash type guys. Sorry, that took a little bit longer than I thought. I'm kind of fumbling around with my words. This is why I need my boys here with me, but it's all good. Where are we at here? All right. Rougarou, thanks. Green Bay Buffalo game might be over by halftime. Oh yeah, it's gonna be a massacre, absolute bloodbath. I mean, it's gonna be, and Aaron Rodgers is gonna throw the biggest fit. I mean, he's gonna have the stankiest face that you ever seen the whole game. Everybody's gonna be fucking up by him. Watch, it's gonna be amazing. Poetry in motion. What's up, Tyreek? Good morning. We're entering the warm stages of the coffee. No longer hot, just on the edges, the cusps of being delicious, but not quite unbearable. All right, D Brown, you answered a question for me earlier, and you said, damn, you don't have any one of those guys on your team, which makes me feel like, damn, I ain't tighten up my fantasy skills. Appreciate you, man. Yeah, I mean, again, that's one thing that I do that I feel like a lot of guys don't do. And this is in best ball, this is everywhere, is everybody hedges. And so it's like, and I've done it. Like, I've played fantasy like that before, where it's like, I might put this guy on this team just in case, or I'm now to this point where I'm like, if I don't want that guy, he's not touching my teams, period. I don't care how articulate your argument is. I don't care how wonderful I don't care. I don't care. When I decide that a player is not something I want to deal with, a problem on my team, I don't draft him ever. I don't put him on my team ever, and I'm 100% fine with that. If he has the best season ever, so be it. And if he doesn't, which I probably don't think he will because I'm not drafting him, that's great. Great for me. I don't have to even look and be like, oh, there's that one team he's sandbagging. Don't have it. Doesn't exist. He doesn't sandbag any of my teams. That's just how I play. I'm not saying it's the right way, wrong way. I'm just saying this is just how I do it. I wanted to know if Dubs and Munir could. Yeah, and I remember that question now. So thank you for clarifying, bro. Play PPR, play Amari or DJ Moore. Play Amari Cooper. DJ Moore, I'm just sick of him. I woke up this morning. Again, I literally live and breathe fantasy football. I woke up this morning thinking about DJ Moore and how we used to comp him to Julio Jones. That was his comp for a long time. Julio Jones. He's Julio Jones. Those days are long gone. Amari Cooper having a pretty good season out here, low key. And it's only going to get better. We want to link for all 4 channels. I would like to repost links in my chats and blow up the channels. Can I get them from you on Facebook? Yeah, absolutely. Well, like I said, there's 2 podcast feeds. And so if you go in the description of this, if you're watching on YouTube, the top one, it should say new podcast feed. That's where 2 shows will be: Dynasty Tailgate and then the Best Ball Dynasty Show, The Underdogs Best Ball Show. And then our primary feed, you can go down a little lower down there, and that's the link that's always been there, where we usually put all 4 of our shows, but we're splitting them up because we've been getting so many downloads per episode per show. Certain shows are just getting buried. Like the other day, we dropped, I think in 24 hours, we put 3 shows on the feed. Like you just, it's I know how it is whenever you get on a feed, and you click that top one, and sometimes you miss stuff that goes underneath it. So we just need to spread it out a little bit more so we have our content, you know what I mean, where people are able to find it and it's segregated. So if you want to listen to the Best Ball Show, you can go to that feed instead of go to our feed and try to find it. That's kind of my thought process there. So Russ has Sutton, Judy, and Hamler, but seems like his BFF is Greg Dulcich. Is that a thing? Do I need to check on I have like 2 underdog teams running this morning, and Greg Dulcich is on at least one of them. I'd love to see. Let's see if Big Papa is winning any money over here. Big Papa, where we at? Come on, baby, do the locomotion. Nope, we are still out of the money, but only by 2 points in one. So we're going to triple up in that one if we get another 4 points. And in this one, oh, it's ugly in that one. We ain't going to win nothing in that one. But what we got? We got Zay Jones, Greg Dulcich, Jerry Jeudy, Trevor Lawrence. Damn, Jerry Jeudy got 18 points? What? Excuse me? Excuse me? Okay. Good for him. About damn time. That was great stash info. Thanks a lot. Yeah, everybody here, we put out good shit. This has kind of been my thesis for what I do for fantasy. There isn't really the stuff that I want. Like there's rank. People do certain things that are good and I look at, but it's like what I want is somewhere to research and just get an idea of a player quickly. And the index is that. Like I said, I was able to scroll down. Okay, who are in my bottom tiers? Who have I kind of written off a little bit? So I can go down there. Boom. Okay. Now, who do I know if this group has been having a little bit better season than I thought? Bang, this guy. Okay. And then what do I know about him? Dante Fowler. Well, he's still, under 30. And as well as 2 years ago, he was a top 12 defensive player. There you go. And it's easy to find that because I've built a system. It's like a second brain with information in it. So tell your wife, tell your kids, tell your friends, holla at us, IDP Army on Patreon. And we're going to be switching up how our Patreon works soon too, a little bit. Continue to just reward the people who've been riding with us and entice the people who have been sitting on the sidelines eating L's. Carr or Gino, pick one. Give me Gino. I'm very bullish on the oh my God, what word about the Raiders as a team right now, but Gino is just he's kind of swaggy right now, in a way Derek Carr couldn't dream of being swaggy. Now I know, caveated that with the fact that we do have DK a little banged up, a little worrisome, but I still think Gino's got a little something in his legs too. So I think he got a few more outs with Gino, honestly. I think we might be at a point too where the Raiders just try and turn Josh Jacobs into Derrick Henry, and that's not good for Carr. Infinite Possibility says, I have listened to several fantasy shows and most are trash and annoying AF. I always look for you because you get us and what we need without the fluff. Why do you enjoy listening? Who do you enjoy listening and reading? You know what? This is going to sound fucking so douchey and terrible, but I used to listen to so many podcasts and fantasy football shows and stuff. And it's kind of like my thesis with the players. I just said, I don't anymore. I just don't. I tune into Hayden Winks and Josh Norris twice a month just to kind of get the feel for what the bros are saying, the best ball bros are saying. I listened to almost every single episode of the Fantasy Footballers from 21 to 1,000, and I haven't listened in a year now. even established the run. I kind of like listening to them. Adam Levitan's, he's a funny guy. Evan Silva's a interesting guy. But even them, it's just like I find that listening to that stuff is not edifying to my fantasy experience anymore. It's just not. And I'll tell you why. And this is my theory, is why people come to find content for 3 reasons. They want to be educated, they want to be entertained, and they want to be engaged. In the off season, everybody wants to be the smartest guy in the room. And it's all numbers. It's all, this is right. This is, and 80% of the people agree with me, so I'm right. When we get in the season, you can't build these structures, these articulate word palaces to hide in. You have to show up and you have to engage people and entertain people. Some of those guys aren't very good at entertaining people or engaging people. Maybe their audience is too big. Maybe they don't actually answer the questions that people send them. Maybe they're really condescending and douchey. Like some people just, I don't get it. So I kind of quit, I'm just being completely real. It's crazy. It's absolutely crazy because I've consumed thousands and thousands and thousands of hours of fantasy football podcasts, and none of them have been able to really hold me as a listener over a long period of time. So I don't know what I would say I enjoy listening to or reading. I tune in from time to time just to kind of, again, get an understanding of what my peers, my cohorts are saying, the kind of trash they may be peddling, the kind of consensus nonsensical ramblings they may be pushing out there about Kyle Pitts. But I understand too that like nobody's going to come sing my praises for saving so many people from drafting Kyle Pitts this year. It's just turned into a joke now. Like the guys who told you to do it, now it's like, well, it's all Arthur Smith's fault. I wasn't actually wrong. Or here's 8 reasons why he's actually being used right because he's blocking. It all diverges into fucking bullshit. Just give me fantasy football advice. And if you fuck it up, give me better advice next time. Simple. I don't need you to keep building articulate word palaces to hide in. You know what I'm saying? Like, so I think a lot of people have just lost sight of what we do. I honestly, truly believe that over the last 3 years with the rise of PFF and this sort of like analytical white sash, ivory tower, fantasy statistician stuff. Computers can do that. Like all you're doing, essentially, if that's your primary content mode, is reading me the fucking projections. I don't need that. So I try not to do that. That was a long-winded answer. I also got a lot of wind in me. So I don't have time for fluff. I got real good shit to throw out here. All right, Rougarou, what are your thoughts on the trade block players Hunt, Cooks, Bradley Chubb, Burns, aka I don't think Burns is going anywhere. They kind of made that apparent. Chubb, I don't know. They got rid of Miller. Maybe they do get rid of him. I think it would be wise of them to get rid of Bradley Chubb because I don't want to pay him. I wouldn't want to pay him. He hasn't done much for you. And he's coming up on contract time. Rams, they have good rapport with the Rams, so maybe he goes across from your man Leonard Floyd. Hunt, I would love to see Hunt end up somewhere where he could actually be used as a workhorse because we know he can do that. But I don't have any real thoughts. You know what I mean? Like I don't have any deep speculation. Sorry. I hope you keep doing these YouTube shorts. Hey, thank you. I appreciate it. I'm trying to do some. I don't know what's the good ones. What are the good ones? Some of them hit, some of them don't. It's wild. Some of the ones where I'll talk and rant, which is what I do here, hit. And sometimes I'll do like kind of funny ones and they'll hit. Sometimes I do like I'll pull stuff from TikTok and do it. But I don't know. I'm trying to grow on there and I want to just keep engaging with y'all. So I do appreciate that feedback, Infinite Possibilities. That literally is very meaningful feedback for me that you guys, are watching that and enjoying that. So gonna try and keep getting better at that too. You know what I'm saying? I put out a pretty funny TikTok the other day. I thought it was pretty funny. It's wild how long it takes to make those things. Like sometimes it's like an hour and a half to make like a 30-second TikTok. I don't know if it's the right or wrong thing to do, but it's been done. Saints DBs are all banged up. Lattimore out. Adobe Q. Robbie IR. So we get Chris Harris Jr. Yuck. Remember when he was one of the best corners in the league? The good old days. That's what we call him. John Policiano. Two-part question, brother. Bills or New England defense, and then tight end Hayden Hurst, or give freaking Kyle Pitts another chance. Hayden Hurst, fuck Kyle Pitts. And then here's my stance on team defense. Fuck it. Like, and I've been thinking about this a lot. Don't fucking play team defense in your fantasy leagues. It's so obnoxious and obtuse and pointless, and it's rude, and it's disrespectful to the fucking defensive players who run that fucking engine. Like, it's just like, if you're going to sit there and play all offensive players and you're going to have a defensive spot, like, just fuck off. Like, get rid of it. Okay. It's not a thing. There's no analysis to be had. I mean, the scoring, does anyone know how defensive scoring works? No. There is nothing there. Okay. Fucking get it out of your leagues. That being said, play the Bills. But I literally was thinking about this. I was thinking about this the other day. I was just like, it doesn't make any sense to play a defensive spot. And people do this on DraftKings. You're forced to play a defense on DraftKings. Think about that. You spend all week, and again, they don't do this. The computers do it all for them, the simulators, blah, blah, blah. But you spend all this week, you build the perfect lineup. And now you got to chip in 6 or 7 different defenses just in case, because nobody really knows what they're doing, as far as an actual unit. It's so weird. Get rid of it. There's literally, it's patronizing, and it's just rude at this point to have team defense in fantasy football. It's fucking rude. What are some of the offensive lines to target for DL play this year? I'm gonna be honest, I haven't looked into that too much in the past couple of weeks. I know early on I'll check out, see if I can pull up something here real quick, because I do have a couple of tabs I look at that kind of give me an idea of who I'm wanting to get or not get. And I don't, again, offensive lines, and man, I listened to the craziest thing I ever heard. It's not even that crazy. You guys know my rants about pressures and shit. But listen to the most recent episode. And this is crazy. I tuned in. You're asking what shows to do. I listened to the PFF NFL Week 8 preview. I never listened to that show. This is the first I've listened to it all season. But I just tuned in because, again, I just like to sometimes just slide in, get an idea of what the big corporate media heads that do what I do are saying, so I can understand like where the general consensus is at. And they spent 5 whole minutes talking about pressures and how a lot of pressures are free pressures, as in like the defensive line player doesn't deserve them. They're because the quarterback is walking into pressure. And oh boy, did I feel so, not that I need to feel more fucking vindicated, but the pressure boys over in IDP world, it's just like, come on, can we stop now? Like, even the guys at PFF are talking about, well, pressures are actually more created by the quarterback. So what's with all this fucking IDP analysis the last 2 and 3 years? This high and mighty, oh, look at me, I'm the pressures genius. And then your homeboys, your pastors, your gods, your PFF homies are out here saying, well, technically, a lot of this guy's pressures are because he sucks and because he's doing it, not because of the defensive line. Interesting. So curious how these narratives just change. So curious. Boyd Walker Pierce pick 2. Wow. That sucks, because I feel like not playing Boyd would be absolute sacrilege at this point. But I feel like Pierce has 100% earned the starting roster spot. I feel like Walker's so good. Man, that's tough, Mike. Mike, if you're really going to put me on it like that, I would say start Boyd and Pierce. And I know that that's going to be wrong. I'm sorry. All right, Tyreek, I'm trying to find a stash for next week DL with Bipocalypse coming. Yeah, I haven't even looked ahead to next week. We still got heads to beat in this week, Tyreek, my guy. I know you got a lot going on right now, Buzz, so don't have to look at week 9 buy. Not going to be that guy. Exactly. We have to live in the moment, Tyreek. We have to win week 8. You know who else? The thing about bye weeks, which is the beauty of them, is everyone deals with them. It's not like an injury where it's just, oh, fuck my team. Like, buys are everybody's got to deal with it. So at least you got that. Man, I really wish this cup of coffee I'm looking at was still hot. You guys have no idea how much I want to sip it. I'm going to try it, but I bet it's going to be fucking awful. Not great. Infinite possibilities. Since you ask, I wish you would do shorts of whatever you feel because you are genuine. Please slip in when the next show is coming up so we can look forward to catching you. Ooh, that's a good idea. Use them as like a an advertisement. All right, cool. Bet. I'll start doing them more. To start running my mouth. Shouldn't be hard. Malik Willis is starting. What do you mean by that? That's like one of the best videos ever. Oh my gosh, I saw the funniest. There's just something about viral internet stuff that just sometimes it's just like, wow, we're so blessed to be living the time we live in. Where a laugh is literally just an app away. It's a blessing. Side note, I was oblivious, and again, shocker, that Derrick Henry had 30 carries last week. What? I was completely oblivious until about 10 o'clock last night. And I was like, are you kidding me? So I thought about, and honestly, what I should be doing right now is I should be shutting the stream down, piecing y'all out, and I need to be making some dynasty trades. Because, like I said, shit's about to shift into its final form. But fuck it, my teams are rock solid. We'll be fine. All right, go Louvu or pick up Quay Walker, Kirksey, Deion Jones, or Isaiah Simmons. Don't do Simmons yet. Not safe yet. Quay Walker is still running around 80% of snaps. But he's doing really good with those 80% snaps. So I would go either Quay or Kirksey. Now that's if you really are worried about Louvu. If you've been rocking with Louvu, I'm kind of one of these guys where I just kind of stick with my guys. Again, mate, for better or worse. Just what I do. I say that. Oh, and I benched Juju his first big week of the season after starting him all the crappy weeks, but you don't care about that. So I would say go with Louvu, stick with him, but if you have to move off of him, Walker or Kirksey's where I would head. Lets us know when we got some good stuff coming so we can tell our friends. You also really good when you partner with someone else as well. Yeah, I know. I wonder where these boys are at. I tell them, I'm like, yo, I've been, spent the last 4 years building up a YouTube channel so we can all get some pub. Here I am. All the pub's mine. Yeah, right. I ain't drinking that. Y'all crazy. What up? Just got here with Rowe being ruled out. Is there a DB you all trust from Miami, or would you just try to avoid? I'm probably going to just try to avoid this week. I think this game's going to turn into a bit of a shootout. I don't necessarily think it's going to be like they hold them down or anything like that. So now that doesn't really mean anything here or there for DB scoring per se, but with these guys being so thin, I don't really want to be starting backups unless I absolutely have to. Hopefully there's somebody on my bench that I've got on another team that I'm feeling good about. John says, my DB is out. My top 3 available waiver wire, Kevin Byard, Ryan Neal, or Harrison Smith. Okay, that's my DB is out. So you start 1 DB? For shame, John. Well, I'm going to look at my handy-dandy rankings. I've got Harrison Smith at 13 right now. Probably a little too low. I've got Byard at 15. And then Ryan Neal is below both of them. So I would go Harrison. Thoughts on Woolen? We've brought him up a couple of weeks in a row now. Is he still streaking? Is he streaking? Is he still doing, did he still get another pick or something? I know he was doing hot. Long term, he looks like he's going to be a good play for your dynasty team, IDP. So if you got him, don't drop him. For the record, it's going to be a bloodbath week 9. We have the Browns, Cowboys, Broncos, Giants, Steelers, and 49ers are on bye. Will be some opportunities to be had during desperate times. Yeah, next week is going to be a good time to be nimble with your trades. You're going to see, and here's my trade advice, unsolicited trade advice. When somebody does come approach you about a player, generally speaking, you should always start by clowning them. If they say, hey, we want to do this trade, be like, yeah, right, I'd never do that. Haha. Just start there. Assume control. And then from there, you can decide whether you want to do that trade or not. And as they get more desperate, as the week goes on, they'll offer you more. Diablo in, no moves needed. Thanks for the advice. Yes. Humber Vende is working and Macy's on daddy duty. I know the feeling. So where's Joe and Josh? And Bomber? Where are my friends? Where's Iggy? Where is everybody? John Feliciano, linebacker, pick one. Rashawn Evans, Quibsy Williams, or Zier Franklin, or Deion Jones. Pick one of that group. I'll probably go Quincy, if I'm just being honest. I don't like Deion Jones that much. Rashawn Evans has been good, but Quincy, he seems like he's kind of evolving into what he should be, which is pretty good linebacker. Robert Saleh's putting him in good positions. All right, we are going to jump to the old Twitterverse and see if there's any news worth commenting on. All right, we pulled up on StreamYard. We are. So, Darren Waller, expected to play. No one cares. How old are these tweets? Jeez. All right, pull up this one. What the heck? Ian Rappaport hasn't tweeted in 2 hours. I find that hard to believe on a Sunday morning. All right, there we go. 14 minutes. All right, give me 1 sec. I'll pull up the right stream. Y'all support the channel so I can get a new computer. I don't know if you guys remember the story, but I literally pulled the computer that I've done all of our shows on essentially out of a dumpster. It'd be like that. It used to be like that. Once we win the bash, we'll have a nice corner office in New York City. All right, what we got here? Amon-Ra active, Waller out. Zeke is out. Flacco is inactive. Man, Amon-Ra St. Brown started out the season so hot. You got that fucking high ankle sprain. Okay. This should get you fired up for your Robert Quinn shares. Got a couple more questions. Diablo or Curl? I mean, what's up with Diablo? Like, is he a linebacker or is he a fucking DB? Like, I can't tell. Like, it's kind of frustrating when you get questions like this. If you're going just for a flex spot, I'll play Diablo. Now, if Diablo has DB eligibility in some way, shape, or form, I'd probably still take him. Arden Key balling today. That doesn't mean anything. Ignore that. Amani Hooker versus Texans or Jevon Holland versus Lions today. I would take Holland. I was going to say, back up to this question we had earlier about the DBs for Miami. Holland's the only guy that's out there I would probably trust. Even the cornerbacks, then they're not always playing 100% snaps, so that can be a little bit risky biz. And Goff isn't as interception prone as people seem to remember. It's been really nice to watch the Rams be fucking terrible this year. If you really had to pick one, Sammy Watkins or Wandale, give me Wandale. Just check the waiver wire. Got Woolen on the bench, Adoree Jackson, Teron Johnson to replace Rowe. There you go. That's nice. And Teron Johnson is the guy you're going to want to go with over Adoree, in my opinion. Good pickup. And that's the thing. Watch your waiver wires. There's always something good on your waiver wires. Not always, but like a lot more often than you would think. You will find good stuff on your waiver wires. You know, your league mates, they don't grind as hard as you. They just don't. How does that little box look? Looks pretty good. Looks pretty good. Looks pretty good. All right, well, 50 minutes today. Wow, y'all haven't berated me with a bunch of questions. I mean, I'm actually staying caught up today, too. This is weird. What's going on? Something in the water out there? What's up, y'all? So what's up with this game? I guess I can check in on that real quick. Like I said, do me a favor. Link in the description for the new podcast feed. If you just watch the channel, we appreciate that. But we do podcasts too. Not all of our content makes it onto the podcast feed. Not all of our podcast stuff makes it onto the channel. You know, so you really need to be subscribed to both / all three, because we have 2 podcast feeds now. One for the best ball fantasy sports show. One for the Dynasty Tailgate, which is like Devy / NFL draft. And then we have the offensive points, which you should know. And then you have me, the IDP Army. So 4 pods, 1 channel, one world. I don't know. Y'all need a microwave down here so I can heat this coffee up. Listen, I'm talking. I want to stop. I know there's people in here, so I'm gonna like stop talking for a minute or two until some more questions come in. I love y'all. I'm gonna poke around on my phone a little bit and stuff, but if you're still here, keep them coming. I'll talk to y'all. TJ Edwards or Z Alexander. I also have Eagles defense. TJ Edwards, really, really solid season, breakout season, honestly. Jordan, what's good? What's good, Jared? Good to see you this morning, brother. Give us a little like. Subscribe to the new podcast feed. It's down in the comments or description of the show. We have the OG podcast feed, and then we have the new one. Thoughts on getting Josh Palmer for a stash next week with Williams out and Allen still banged up? Yeah, Allen just needs to go on IR or retire. I mean, some of these guys, it's like, how long are you going to like just be banged up? You know what I'm saying? Like, season's like half over. ETN is balling, Jordan. You know what, Tyreek? You know what? I started him this week in the one league I have him, so that makes me perfectly happy. Thought you were going to get me, didn't you? Not today, Tyreek. Not today. I'm happy, see? How's he doing, though, for real? Let's take a peek, see here. Ooh, Melvin Gordon got himself a touchdown. Good for him. ETN, 18 carries for 130 yards. Yeah, but he only has 6 receiving yards. Do you have the new podcast on Spotify? I don't have Apple. Yes, we do. And actually, I put the link as the Apple podcast one because like 80% of podcast listeners on our podcast anyway, over the last, I've watched it for the last couple of years, listen on iTunes, iOS. So I do have a Spotify link. I will go get that right now, and I'll try to drop it for you in the I'll try to drop it in the chat over here. I'll see if it works. If it doesn't, maybe I'll like go to the channel and try dropping it in. All right, distribution. Copy. All right, so let's try this. I'm gonna drop it first in the chat, and let's just see like if it comes through as a clickable link. Even if it doesn't, I guess you should be able to copy and paste that, right? There it is. This is nice. Man, Travis Etienne, 3 receptions for 6 yards. Just not very efficient, is he? It's not very good. Oh, boy. All right. Back on track. Seems like week to week I struggle finding CB points. I have Humphrey, Jalen Diggs, Asante Sam. Here's the thing, Rougarou. Don't look at them. Play them. Forget about them. Take them out whenever they're on bye or they're hurt. You can't count on your cornerbacks. Don't think about your cornerbacks. Don't worry about them. Okay. Focus on other pieces of your team. Just get a guy you know is going to play. Leave him in there. If you find a better guy sitting on waiver wires, pick him up, put him in, leave him there. Don't stress over your cornerbacks. It ain't worth it. Dolchich is having a good game. Let's take a peek-see here. 4 for 87. That ain't bad. You're right. That ain't bad at all. What's up? Back again. Start. What's up, NASCAR Fantasy Live? Start 2 linebackers with Eric Kendricks, Deion Jones, Pete Werner, or Zaire Franklin. You're going to go Pete Werner and you're going to go Eric Kendricks in this situation. Franklin, I'm a little shaky about with Shaq Leonard supposedly giving him back. And then Deion Jones is just like, in my opinion, he's just like, meh. That's been my opinion for a while. Did you get this? Awesome. It looks like you said it works. Anything, and just remember, on Spotify too, you can just give a little 5 stars. It's right there. It means a lot. Anything you've seen as a Pitt fan to give you hope about Pickett? No. He's playing. Okay. Yes. There was that play when I don't remember who it was. I think they played the Bills or somebody. Somebody was hit him or something. And he basically pushed the guy or whatever. So he got a little of that scrap in him. He wants to win, but he seems a little timid to me right now. Like it seems like nobody sat him down and been like, look, you're the quarterback of the Pittsburgh fucking Steelers. Now act like it. Okay. Like I don't think he's had that conversation yet. Because if I had that conversation, you wouldn't see me throw him behind the line fucking scrimmage. Okay. We peppering targets Deontay Johnson's ass. We going deep and long and deep. Okay. Luvu Milano. I will say too, though, I do like Freiermuth. I mean, Freiermuth gives me a little bit of hope just in general because he kind of I feel like he kind of keeps the team rolling right now in a weird way. Luvu Milano, JOK, or Ernest Jones. If you got to pick one, I'd probably play Milano of that group. Yeah, that works. Thanks, man. Hey, appreciate it. What's up, guys? Start Swift or Ken Walker. I know the smart answer is Swift, but also Swift is coming off of being hurt again, as he's wont to do. I have concerns. So if I'm going to go for a safe play with the same kind of upside, I'll go Ken Walker. Don't shoot the messenger. Jared Avis again said, do I play Jonathan Allen, or Ed Oliver? Leaning along because he's actually produced. Yeah, don't play Ed Oliver. Ed Oliver's been such a huge disappointment. I mean, people comped him in earnest, excitedly. Not me, smart people. The Daniel Jeremiahs of this world. Smart people. They comped him to Aaron Donald. So do with that information what you will. Should I start Daniil Hunter or Hassan Reddick? Here. That's an incredibly tough question. We will confer with the rankings. And I think, without looking, my rankings are going to tell me it's Hunter. Yep, I got Hunter at 7. And I got Reddick at 15 this week. Probably a little lower than I should have him. But that's where I sit right now. Someone dropped Sebastian Joseph Day and Chris Jones. I picked up Chris Jones. Should I pick up SJD and drop Hutchinson? No. Keep Hutch. Oh, Travis, now it might be a dumb question, but should I start Deion Jones or Shaq, Darius Leonard. I start Darius Leonard. Not a dumb question. I'm not a person that believes there are no dumb questions, but that's not a dumb question. That was a great question. I hope the Steelers keep their options open if they have a shot at QB for the draft. That would be nice. I mean, again, I think Pickett can do it. Like, based on what I've seen, kind of like I think he can, but it's just like he doesn't play like that. Like he's playing like Mac Jones. Does that make sense? Like he's playing like Mac Jones. I want to play James Winston. Just throw it. You know what I'm saying? Like, we don't need another Mac Jones in the league, and we sure as fuck don't need him on the Pittsburgh Steelers. Eno or Foreman? Give me Foreman. Chuba's out. Mike V. And listen, y'all, after those last couple of questions, I am going to bounce. I do appreciate y'all very much. Like this video, subscribe to the channel, share the channel, subscribe to the new podcast feed. There are 2 podcast feeds now. Offensive Points in the IDP Army is on the primary feed. Okay. And then Dynasty Tailgate and the Best Ball Fantasy Sports Show is on the secondary feed. Cross-pollinating the feeds, cross-pollinating with the channel. Not everything is going to be anywhere. You're going to have to go certain places to get certain things. So it is what it is now. Mike V says, Jay Thompson, Harrison Smith, Julian Love. I lost Winfield this week. Let me see. My rankings say, I think my rankings are going to tell me that it's Thompson. But I honestly think my heart's going to tell me that it's Love. Yep. That was an accurate representation of what I'm looking at here. Thompson's at 7, or Thompson, I have Thompson at 4. Actually, I'm moving him down a couple spots. I'm going to move him right behind Love just to justify this. Go Love. I now have Julian Love at 6 on the week, Thompson at 7. Bub Baggett. Chase Edmonds or Naeem Hines. Eckler on a bye week. I'm screwed. LOL. Yeah, you are. Play Chase Edmonds. Thanks so much. Thank you for being here. NASCAR Fantasy Live. Always a pleasure. Rougarou, good stuff as always. Mon ami. Bon chance, la chance. Good luck, people. To you too, Rue. Can't wait to come down and meet you. Man, I really want to get some cool. Like we're working on. Next year, we're going to go places. We're going to meet some of y'all. All right. One of the spots I'm going to head down to, I want to next year is New Orleans. And I want to go to a Chiefs game as well. And maybe get out to Pittsburgh. So keep an eye out, IDP Army, and everybody else that watches, you know. I have some really cool shit going on this next year. Got some things in the works. So it'll be really cool to meet some of y'all in your cities. Thanks again. Have a good one as always. Yeah, I appreciate you too, Jared. Have a good one. All right, y'all, listen up. Do me a big favor. Go win your fantasy league today. All right? I don't care if it's by 1 point. I don't care if it's by 10 points. I don't care if it's by 40 points. Win, okay? Just win. Figure it out. Don't do anything stupid. Don't pull anybody out at the last second. Don't leave anybody injured in your lineups. All right? Have fun. We're living it. Week 8. Think about that. Week 8. Just enjoy it. Just enjoy it. All right. That's all from me today. I will be back tomorrow with the Waiver Wire Show. I will be on Twitter every second of the rest of my life. I will be doing some YouTube shorts for the homies. I will be on the TikToks. Yeah. If y'all need anything at all, hit me up. Also, there is a link for our Discord down there too. I'm just opening the Discord up. Like I said, we're changing some things around this year to make everything just better. Everything better. Everyone on the up and up. So, takes a village, IDP Army. All right, I'm out of here. Good luck, y'all.